Mochudolovina. Welcome to this space of co-creation for transformation. Hi, Kate. Lovely to see you. And Bula Mike. My name is Tessa Teresa, and I come to you from Maruroisia Marine Sanctuary in the ancestral lands of Hambata, Maravi, Nandrunga, on the main island in Fiji. It's a 12-year anniversary since this place was marked as sacred. Or that's a school bus that just went past, up on the roadside. So it's 7:30 in the morning. And just by all of us being present here together in your own time zones, that's a bit of a miracle, isn't it? From all parts of the world. And I'm actually in your tomorrow. So it's the 23rd here. So just by being here, you're making magic. And even more so because your intentions to participate in sacred ritual led by an elder who holds deep wisdom and has this amazing generosity to share for the collective evolution for us. It's always an honor to work and walk beside Gail. I'll tell you a little bit about her a little bit further on because I have a bit of a story for you, a short one. So I came down to this beach with an intention because it is my belief that there cannot be a transformation without a recognition and then a letting go in order to renew. So my intention was to visit an old tree that has been struck by lightning some time ago and to cut some cords that I had placed around him. And this was going to be part of an offering that I would share with you this morning. So I've come down to the beach and sat with the tree and found that the cords were already cut and there was no need for me to cut them. And what had cut them was the elements, the tide, the time, the wind, the rain, and the thunders, and maybe the lightning again. So I came to a realization that we are already free. No cuttings of cords needed. We are free. And that the help and the support system is around us all the time, in the wind, in the rain, in the clouds, and they're just waiting for us to invite them in through sacred practice, such as this one, that we will be dancing together. And what better way to co-create with the elements but in something like dance. It's such an honor and a deep pleasure to open this space for my mystic sister of the singing mists. And when I say that, and I'm sure when you hear it, it sounds, wow, can I really be connected to somebody so magical as a mystic sister from the Singing Mists? Is it possible for me, human, to be in connection with such a divine being? Can you hear that? So a huge wave rushed in just now. And that's the magic that we create when we allow it and when we believe that we are in co-creation with these elements. It's us. And it's us coming into sacred space and believing that, number one, we are free. And we are free to co-create with each other and with the elements that are always waiting for us. Imagine how lonely it would be for them if we didn't reach out to them, if they weren't recognized as living beings. So, on that note, with open arms and heart, I invite my mystic sister, Gail Dances with Death, Thomas, to take us to that space as only she can, in her way. Inakavaka levu. Over to you, my mystic sister.
Tessa, thank you so much. It warms my heart so much to be here with all of you. My ancestral name, Galigia Kawesque, Dancing Heron, Dances with Death. Call me Gail. I'm on my sacred mountain, Adagul, in my ancestral Selagi homeland. In the water basin, Wayumi Ganaita, the long man whose head is in the mountain and his feet are in the sea. And you can see both today. We are the people who resisted both the Trail of Tears, the removal from these homelands, and the reservation called Cherokee. And I come to you with that spirit of resistance and endurance. And I invite you to be with us here on this sacred mountain, in this way, at this sacred time of the equinox. Do any of you know the homelands that you're on? Do you know the people of the homelands, the nations of the land that you're on? If you know that and you want to put it in the chat so we can all see where you are. Do you want to share that? I know Kate knows that. Yeah, and it's beautiful to see the waters honored in this way. If you know the water basin that you are in, please share that also. Yeah, thank you so much. It was wonderful to be called into that first gathering of 7 women, called by Tessa in the middle of the night on the eclipse in the early part of December. It was really challenging for me to get up in the middle of the night and do anything, much less gather and listen. Listen for what the eclipse was guiding us into. And we mostly sat there and yawned for the first beginning part. And finally, one youngest sister from New Zealand said, well, I would love to dance. And it just sparked in me like the lightning bolt. And I responded with, I would love to choreograph a ritual and to go on YouTube and Facebook. We have to have original music. So I would love to do that too. And that's where it all began. We came into that first dance of elemental transformation, talking about when we rest like the resting volcano, because we were presenting in 7 days of rest. And we danced with the water and the fire and the lava coming together and reconciling those opposites in our transformation. And just a few days later, I think it was even within 4 days, the Tonga eruption happened. And when we saw Tessa, we saw the smoke in the background, and we saw a complete transformation in her environment. And then out of that composition came a spontaneous eagle dance, calling in the eagles to hunt endings in 2022 so that Earth could renew. And that just happened with the music. And so we presented that one also in Sign Network for Martin Luther King Week. And then that's when we came together with Molly and Gabri in the 7 Days of Rest presentations. So we're here by spontaneity. We're created by listening and watching and recognizing the energies that arise in this quantum way. And Molly brought so much help and so much beauty and joy when she came in to be with us. And she brought Gabri, and he collaborated on this piece of music and a beautiful piece of music for that tree that Tessa was telling us about. She came to me, told me about the tree, and asked for a song to honor the tree. And that's my favorite dance and composition so far. The first one that Gabri did, and that Tessa connected us with the trees with. So that's what we're doing here today. We're honoring each other. We're listening to our ancestors. We're listening to synchronicity. And most of all, we're listening to our soul, because our soul is present now and throughout eternity. It connects us through the dream world to the collective soul. That's why we do the gathering, to honor the dreams on the full moon for the collective. And we flow in that way when we come together in this way. And I'm so grateful to all of you for being here with us. And who knows what synchronicities we're going to encounter from this transformation dance forward. We're going to do this on the new moon, the first day of every month. Just dance and talk about our dance, because when we talk about our experiences, that's how we avoid appropriation. We go deeper into what we experience with each encounter and gathering of all people like this in all cultures. We share from our own culture and our own experience. And that's how we go deep. We go into ourselves and into our soul, and we build a relationship, an ongoing relationship. So I would like to call on the Thunder beings, because they gave me the gift of this drum beat last year on this equinox when we did an Anipikaga ceremony and honored them. Just a couple of nights later, this song, this beginning drum beat came through the dream world. And then I sent it to Gabri, he created the rest of the music, the rest of the composition around it, and around the guidance that I was actually just sending to my sisters, Tessa and Molly, so they could feel into the guidance while he was working on the music. But he did amazing things. He stretched it out to 7 minutes, and he, worked the voice in, which is really difficult. So definitely appreciate Gabri's work with all of this. And also we want to honor his release of a new album on Bandcamp. And I always get the name wrong. I think it's Magish, but it might be Magish. I don't know. Magish, something like that. So look for him in Planet Utopia on Bandcamp and listen to his new album. And I would like to call on the relationship that I have in sacred Inipikaga Sweat Lodge ceremony on this land for 13 years. And I would like to ask them to make this a sacred place for us today to hold ceremony. So please join me in that way in your thoughts and intentions while we call on the spirits of this land, of this relationship, of the thunders, our strongest medicine. The song translates as, friend, look over here. And we're talking to the thunders. When they come in the spring, they shake the earth, and they wake the bears, and they wake the plants, and they remind us that we've come full cycle and we're ready to rebirth. So that's what we're going to do today as well. So join me in any way you'd like to with this traditional Lakota ceremony song that calls in the thunders. We use the thunder beat, and it's all over the drum. It's all over the mountaintops. It echoes. We don't know where it's going to come from. So that's the beat that we use with this song. And as we feel the sacredness in this place that we've created, we're reminded in the sky, the Big Dipper cycles around the North Star. And my people are from the stars. And we look to the North Star to connect with our ancestors who've crossed over to the other side. And we've offered them the cedar to come join us today. The Deer Clan, Ani Yawusti, the people of Aniwiya. And we look to them as we see the Big Dipper, and it empties on the North Star. And if you look at the image, it turns in a circular direction all year, and the Dipper comes into its fullness, and it comes around. And that is the movement of the circle and the ceremony. When we're in a circle, there's no hierarchy. We are all in the circle together. We are all so grateful to be here in this circle together. Even though we're in little square boxes, we know we are in a circle. And this is why we do ritual, because our soul longs for this embodied connection with each other, with our ancestors, with the quantum field around us, with our soul through the dream work that we do, and with our soul through the connection to the collective. We are so grateful to be able to be in these sacred places, in these sacred ways, at these sacred times. And we're also going to honor the bears. They're a big part of the medicine that brings us together today. Again, with a Lakota song that asks them for their doctoring, because when we ask for the gifts of each other, that's how we honor each other, and that's how we recognize our gifts, and we come to know our gifts in this way. So we're going to honor the bears who also sit in the west at this time. And during our dance, we'll honor the directions you'll see as we turn to each direction. But right now we call in the bears. And if any of you have a special power animal that you've cultivated a relationship and you want to call that animal to join us, we'll do that as soon as we sing this song to the bears. We'll call to that animal in their language. So we'll all unmute and call to our power animals together at the end of this bear song when the bears have joined us. And this song translates from the Lakota language as Pejotawan Yang Syncope. When we are in relationship with the bear medicine, Pejotawan is the medicine of the lightning and the thunders and the bears. Kahankapa Najinye, we adopt their spirit with our spirit. Mato, Omakiayoe. Mato is the Lakota ceremony word for the bear. So if you take anything with you today, take the bear's name, Mato. And sing with me, drum with me, however you feel comfortable. Again, we use the thunder beat because the bear sits in the west. Mato o magia And we end with the 4 beats because 4 is a sacred number in so many different spiritual practices. And the spiritual ways are the ways that we first came in with when we were in the beginning of this wave of humans. These are the ways that we're practicing. These are the ways that the Lakota people were able to preserve and hold as close to that original ancestral teaching and original human instructions. So that's what we want to connect with today. So are you ready? Is anybody gonna unmute and call in their power animal with me? Anybody? Unmute yourself and let's call to them in their language or whatever language you're comfortable with. Let's call in our power animals.
Spider, spider.
Tomi, 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 Tomi. That's the spider's name in Lakota. Spider's beautiful.
Horse.
Ah, the horse. I should know the horse name, but I can't think of it right now. You can.
Beaver.
What was that one?
Beaver.
Beaver. Okay, I love the beaver. I'm in Beaver Dam on the mountain. Anybody else want to call in a power animal?
Dog.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody else?
Ladybird.
Yeah, all the bird spirits, beautiful. Okay, anybody else? Okay, let's dance. We are going to dance from our soul. We're going to listen from our soul. And we're going to stay conscious enough. This is the connection between the soul and the ego unconscious. We're going to listen so that we'll be safe in our environment. We'll be aware of our boundaries. We're going to reconcile the conscious ego mind and the unconscious soul relationship and connection. So we're going to bring them together. We're going to balance them in this dance. And we make it a ritual by our hand movements. Dance the way you dance. Dance your own dance. Dance however you want to dance. And when you feel like connecting with all of us in the ritual space, when we all do the same thing, we are one. And so the song begins by calling in those dark clouds that we see on the horizon when we're being taken into those storms in life that renew the water in us and the water everywhere. These are the strengthening storms that teach us and guide us and lead us. So we begin the dance, dancing however we dance, and our hand movements. You can see Molly and mine are together. You can see how we become one, how we synchronize. We're in sync now, okay? And you have the choice, however you're comfortable, of turning your video off. We'd love for you to leave your video on. Pamela is gonna actually pin the three of us on the top so that you can come back to us anytime you want to catch into the hand motions, or you can just dance your dance. So we start like this, and then we recognize the tension that these stormy opportunities bring, and we hold that tension tightly in our hands. And we make the fist because we hold it so tightly. To hold that tension is how we transform, continuing to be aware of that tension and recognize that tension and hold it so tight within our whole being. And we show this with our fists. And then our first reaction is clawing for control. We bring out our claws. And we're so desperate with this tension pulling on us that we claw for control. And then we're able to open and receive and recognize the change in the waters. We're able to feel the smooth surface of stillness in the water with our hands. We're able to open our hands and receive that stillness, that centeredness in our own bodies, the water in our own bodies. And then we realize in our fourth movement that the water comes up from the ground, it bubbles up from the ground, and it makes a full circle. And these spring rains get together with gravity and bring the circle all the way around. You can see it better with Molly and Tessa. Does anybody have any questions? Those are our 4 movements to bring us into ritual space together as one. Okay, is everybody ready to dance? Pamela's going to mute us, and she's going to play the music for us. And we invite you to do whatever's most comfortable. Take a sip of the water. Prepare yourself however you need to.
Right now, Gail is pinned. So whoever we're supposed to watch, please pin. Thank you.
Okay, let's dance. Dark clouds come with the winds of change and gather around us. Awareness strengthens our roots in Mother Earth. We listen for voices of ancestors as we spiral back to center, over and under, again and again, writhing in pain and wailing sorrow. Iron fist holding golden intentions along with the tension. Stepping into these firestorms, tethered to trees and anchored in love, we persevere, feeling fullness in life as it slips away from grasping, clawing for control as we encounter the chaos that takes us into the void of creativity. Letting go only to be danced by our soul, both now and through eternity, connected to our unconscious. Intensified presence deepens gratitude felt by the waters in this body holding our spirit, washing away the unnecessary greed, anger, and delusion of unbalanced collective cravings. There is no away, so we transform into each other from the depths of still waters. Inner inversion, rights of wrongs and eddies restore wholeness to circles and cycles through rites of passage in our original instructions. Water bubbles up from the center of earth to greet the spring rains gravity yields. Air and and water together join the fire of life force in our heart for this journey on earth, as our ego observes like the oak trees. We allow the waters of our body to dance again within these ritual transformations. We allow the waters of our body to dance again these ritual transformations. We allow the waters of our body to dance again these ritual transformations. We allow the waters of our body to dance again these ritual transformations. Yeah, take a good deep breath. Feel the storm surging through your body. Feel the movement. This stirs up the laughter and the grief and the fears and the longing and all that's in there as it welcomes it in. Take a sip of water. We're going to give you an opportunity to talk about your experience. Anything that you want to share is welcome. And this is, again, the way we avoid appropriation, by talking about what we're feeling and what we're experiencing and how it relates to the other people as we build community in these ways, as we share the depth of what we do together. So if anybody would like to speak now and share, we have a few minutes to do this, and we're happy to do this. This is what we're going to do on every new moon, dance and share. So then we're going to go to a water blessing. So let's take a few minutes and just unmute yourself and share however you want to.
Well, I would just say it was beautiful. It felt like creativity school for adults, and I really thank you for bringing that to my experience. I didn't like the holding on or the clawing anymore, though. You know, it was like, hold on tight. I didn't want to hold on to anything. I just wanted to let it go. Anyway, that was my experience, and appreciating you.
Yes, thank you, Kate. That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
I loved seeing three people in different corners of the world dancing together to the same music. Fiji, London, England, and Asheville, North Carolina. That was so beautiful. The synchronicity there of the whole.
Thank you, Pamela.
And there was a few other people dancing together. I don't know your locations, but
Tell us if you would, those other people, if you would tell us your locations.
yeah.
Well, I was saying, Pamela was in the Ottawa Rivershed, right? So up there in Canada, and I'm here in the Belle Fourche Water Rivershed, right in the middle of, in the heartland of Turtle Island. So anchoring it all in the beautiful Black Hills, sacred Black Hills, the only territory never sold on earth, I like to say. The exchange never got made. We're not going.
Yes. Thank goodness for that, Kate. And you know, our Sweat Lodge door and fire point a little northwest because that's where the Black Hills are from here. And that's where our traditional Lakota, the Nipi ceremony teachings come from. So we're connected in that way too.
Morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. My name is Ilana. I'm from Fiji. And I live in the capital city, Suva. Yeah, I really liked the dance, seeing everybody dance from different parts of the world. It was a nice release using the hand movements.
Mm.
And thanks, Tessa invited me, so I joined.
Yeah, thank you for joining and for sharing. Thank you.
Yes.
Would anyone else like to share?
Come on, we got to hear the dude's perspective. Come on, Mike and Kate.
Thank you, Kate, for encouraging the dudes.
Well, Gail invited me, and I just felt so just in sync and natural. It felt so natural, and it's the first time I've been a part of this, and it was a lot of emotion too. It's just beautiful for me. I've never felt like I've always felt like I've had like two left feet, especially when I was younger, and it doesn't feel that way at all with that dance and with what we were doing. And I really appreciate that and the dance and everything. It's wonderful. And thank you all.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for showing up today.
Enjoyed it.
Okay, any more sharing? Gabri dude, do you want to share anything? I don't want to drag you out.
I'll be very quick. And I just want to say that dancing together around the world in different parts of the world, it's like it's creating a ring, a magical circle, like an aura. We can create this by dancing together. and very special. Thank you for your special and very magical. I'm very happy to collaborate with you. Thank you. It sounds terrible, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's that echo, Gabri. You can take that echo. Thank you, Gabri, for making that drum beat danceable. It's much, much better to dance after Gabri finishes with my drum beat. Okay, anyone else want to share anything? I'm so grateful to all of you. Tessa, did you want to share anything? Or anybody else? Okay, so at this part of our ceremony, we are going to...
Oh, you know what? Tessa is trying to speak. I can feel it over there. She's trying to speak.
Is she muted? Can we help her?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah, now, yeah.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, Kate. I think you cleared the way for me. So, yeah, I'm still feeling the dance. And what is particularly moving is community. And to dance in this way with other humans, because in the past, it's just me and the elements, and maybe my dogs. So, yeah, just feeling, it's one thing to dance with the trees or with the water and the sea, but it is quite another to do it in community. So, feeling quite emotional, but at the same time, really held in a beautiful way. So, thank you again, Gail, and thank you everybody for being in sync. Just in your own way. We don't have to be exactly the same, but feels good. Just like that, the larger circle, Gabri, that you spoke about, to be part of something in these sacred ways is extremely special. So thank you, Vinaka.
Vinaka Tessa. So at this time, we're going to recognize the waters, and we're going to do water blessing by combining all of our waters and handing them to Tessa so she can put them in the ocean. So I'm going to begin with the spring water here from this mountain. Ooh, it's anxious to get out of there. And of course the dog's coming over to check it out. So I'm gonna take the spring water from the south side of the land on the sacred mountain. I'm gonna put a few drops in the ladle that we've used to pour for our sweat lodge ceremonies for 13 years now on this mountain. And I'm going to combine a little bit of water from a sacred goddess site in Einsiedeln, Switzerland. And that's where I went in my pilgrimage to Carl Jung's house on the lake in Bollingen. And I took the book, Memory, Streams, and Reflections with me, and I sat there at the edge of the lake with my toes in the water, and I brought the water from Einsiedeln, the goddess site in Einsiedeln. And I combine it now with the spring water on the mountain, and also with a little bit of the rain, the spring rain water, and the thunder's water. Anytime we hear the thunders and the lightning, there are many traditions that collect this water and use it as medicine, and we hold it close to our heart, or we pour it on whatever needs help. or our head, you know, if our mind needs some help getting quiet. And I'm going to put just a little bit of this, and I keep it in a big rainwater catchment, and there's some tadpole juice in here too with it now. So I think that makes it even more alive. And so I'm going to pass this storm water in this ladle to Molly. And she's going to take it and combine it with the water that she has and pass it to Tessa. And then Tessa will pass it to the ocean. So here you go, Molly.
Thank you, Gail. Thank
And
you,
I
Gail.
empty my dipper, like the dipper's emptying on the North Star, when I pass this to Molly.
So I'm receiving all those beautiful waters from you. And sharing this. Thank you. Oh. Hold on. Thank you, Gail. Holding it to my heart, this special spring water, Glastonbury water, Glastonbury well water, where global minute of silence is coming from, which helped to stop Second World War, the prayers for peace. So that's where this water is coming from. And it's very special water. And I'm gonna make a little mixture of a few different waters that I'm gonna then take a few drops of well water. I'm gonna add some Atlantic Ocean. That's the ocean that connects Gail and myself. And I'm adding a few drops of Atlantic Ocean into the glass container. Thank you, ocean. Then I'm gonna add some Adriatic Sea. A few drops of the Adriatic Sea into the mix. And this is the sea where I come from and my closest water. And then I'm gonna add Arabic Sea, and that's the sea that connects myself to Tessa. Adding a few drops of that. Into this little container. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Gail. Coming into my heart. I'm Mali. Ja sam Mali sa Lošinja I moja voda je Vrana. I'm Mali from Lošinj and my water is Vrana. However, I live in London and my nearest body of water is River Thames, which is one of the dirtiest water around. So I'm gonna eventually offer this water to the River Thames and hopefully sending some healing and transformation to the River Thames, but to all waters on the planet Earth, on the Mother Earth. So waters within us, waters around us, water is everywhere, and water unites us all. And with much honor and gratitude to share this space with you, I shall be passing this water to Tessa.
Thank you, Mali. Thank you, Gail, for blessing the waters that you've collected. And thank you, Mali, for initiating this water blessing in our sharing today. The waters in my cup are spring water and water from a little creek that I just dipped my cup in. And so this is basically rainwater that has come from all parts, just like that dust cloud of sulfur that rose up into the air from the volcano and traveled all over the world. So your waters are here as well, not only by the rain, but maybe by the sweat that you might have worked up when we danced together. So your waters are very much here. And I accept them all and take them down to Mama Waitui and to offer it to her in deep gratitude for all that she is for us. And together with the waters that have been collected, I offer a seed of hope. And this seed I just picked up and it's already rooting. And this is also a drift nut. So it will float across from here and land on some land and take root and sprout. And it will do too, because this comes from a coastal tree. And being in salt water is natural for it. And also what will go down in offering with the waters is this beautiful bloom that comes from the same tree. So I'm just going to move my computer around so you can see me go down to the water, taking all of your waters with me. Thank you, Naka. Thank you, Mali. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Gabri, and everybody here who's turned up to dance and renew your own waters and the waters that not only present on this planet, but are throughout the multiverse, connecting with the Big Dipper, Gail's ancestors, with the Pleiades, my ancestors, and with all of your star people. I hand back to Gail now. Thank you so much.
Oh, and thank you, Tessa, for taking me to that beautiful beach and that beautiful ocean. I love that spot so very much. And just to see is like being there with you now that we've visited for a couple of years. I think this is our third year of visiting on the beach there. And I love it so much. And of course, anybody is welcome to speak. And then we're going to close our ceremony with the Lakota Sacred Water Honoring Song. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say before we close our container with a song? You're all welcome. You're always all welcome.
Gail, it would be lovely if we could invite people to join us in ongoing sessions that we're going to be holding, that Gail is going to be leading us into on the new moons. So keep out on the Facebook pages and social media for updates. And we are so looking forward sharing this space with you, Gail, and letting you lead us in these beautiful transformations. Thank you.
Yes, Molly, thank you so much. The Facebook page is Guided Ritual Transformation Dance, and you're all welcome to join. And we are already posted on letsreimagine.org in their Grief, Growth, and Justice event through June, I think it is, on the first day of every month. And that will conveniently keep us within the 4 days of the new moon. So please, please come dance again. And that will be a short 40-minute session based on community. We will simply dance and share and anything else we want to do, of course. So please, yes, help us build this community, this relationship that we build with each other and with the elements and with the water, with the dance, with everything that's here with us today. Yeah, thank you so much, Molly, for reminding me of that. And if you want to directly communicate, we have a Gmail address. It's guidedritualtransformation.gmail@gmail.com. And you can find this recording on YouTube as soon as we get it there, along with all of our other presentations and dances. And we encourage you to just keep dancing. Share it with your friends, gather and dance, and send us videos to post on YouTube, or photos, or just comments and experiences to post in the group on Facebook. Yeah, please stay in touch however you can, however you will, and grow and learn and share with us. Would anybody else like to say something, anything, before we close our ceremony? Okay, let's sing the Lakota Water Honoring Song. Miniwachoni, water is life. And we call on teachers in the higher realms, Wakantanka, and ancestors. And we remember that the stones are our eldest ancestors. They've been here from the beginning. And we remember our own individual ancestors, and we reach all the way back to our original ancestors, which we all share in the beginning of this wave of humans. They are the ones who brought these teachings from the stars, and we honor them. And we sing to the water and to them. Choni, choni, hello, meno choni, choni, hello, meno choni, choni, hello, meno choni, choni, hello, hey. Wakandaka, tonka, shela, meno choni, choni, hello, meno choni, choni, hello, meno choni, choni, hello, hey. Meno choni, choni, hello, meno choni, choni, hello, meno choni, choni, hello, meno choni, choni, hello, hey. Wakandaka, tonka, shela, meno choni, choni, hello, meno choni, choni, hello, meno choni, choni, hello, hey. Wado Pilami Washte, thank you so much to all of you for being here today. Until again. Pamela, you want to stop the recording, or does anybody want to say anything before we stop the recording?
So